项链交出来。
You have the wrong guy. Does he look like he can fight? Come on, bro.
You okay?
That is a look at Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, the history-making addition to the Marvel Universe, starring Canada's own Simu Liu.
The movie follows a young man as he confronts the past he thought he left behind for good, and Simu joins us right now here in studio, our first in-studio guest in how long, Jeff? It feels like 20 years.
Forever, yeah. So it's so good to actually see you.
It is such an honor. I mean, I didn't know that coming in, but I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah, I have no idea how this is going to go because Carolyn and I, other than each other, have not talked to another human being, I think, in about 18 months face to face.
I get it, guys. I get it. We're going to have fun.
So, and if you find me yelling, because we've been doing so many Zoom interviews over the last 16 months, we have things that we do, these idiosyncrasies. I tend to yell at the screen at people, so I may yell. And you go really close to the...
For some reason, I don't know what it is, Simu, but I just like get pulled in like a tractor beam, like the Death Star.
I get it.
Closer and closer to
love the Star Wars reference. Always love a good tractor beam reference.
Okay, while this is super exciting, even more exciting, this movie, history-making, groundbreaking. We can go on all that this is. So let's talk about the fact, first Asian-fronted Marvel film. No pressure, firstly. But how excited are you to be a part of this?
I mean, it's a dream come true for just so many reasons. I mean, growing up as a children of immigrant parents, you know, I didn't really speak English until I was 6 or 7. So I loved superhero movies because it was almost like you didn't even need to understand the words that were being said. It was just so universal. This idea, you know, the ideas of hope and inspiring, you know, limitless possibilities and saving the world. It was something that immediately just kind of hooked me. So I've been like MCU fan #1 for you know, ever since Iron Man. So, you know, personally, it's just been such a milestone and such a dream come true. And then of course, as you spoke about and as I've spoken about on this press tour a ton, it's just an incredible moment for our community to see, you know, not just one Asian hero that's going to be featured in this movie, but so many. I mean, you saw in the clip the incredible Awkwafina is in this. We have, you know, some on-screen legends like Michelle Yeoh, Tony Leung. I mean, it's such a celebration of culture, and I'm just really excited to be sharing it with the world.
Yeah, it's so good, so great. And we understand that you actually transformed into a true martial artist for this film. Is that correct?
Yeah, definitely. Transform is the key word here because from the moment I was by no means a martial arts master. Shang-Chi is the greatest martial artist in the history of the world. So I definitely had a learning curve that I had to overcome in order.
What was the hardest part of the training?
It was the stretching. It was the stretching. I almost want to demonstrate for you right now just how difficult. I mean, so this is one of the ways that you tell a real martial artist from I guess a not real one is by the range of motion. Can you kick out? Can you hold the high kicks? And so I would, you know, from day one, my day one diagnostic, I show up, I start stretching, and they're like, "Oh, dude, you can't even, like, I could barely even touch my toes with my hands," and they're like, you got a lot of work to do. And so
you got to be able to do like this.
The most ridiculous like montage of stretching, of V-sitting, of like, you know, bringing your head down. I'm really making use of the physical. I've never done this on a Zoom, but
can't be done. Cannot be done.
We can measure our distance now just to make sure.
There you go. There you go. I was never able to do this before, but I'm happy to say, you know, my martial arts training has allowed me to. I'm sorry, I really.
Simu, I might be permanently stuck in this position.
That's okay.
Somebody call help.
Do the rest of the show like
leg cramp. Leg cramp.
Oh God. Well, I heard didn't shooting the bus scene take a really long time?
Yeah, it took a month. We had an incredible fight choreographer by the name of Andy Chang who came from the Jackie Chan stunt team. And you know, if you watch the first few beats of that bus sequence, I mean, Jackie's influence is everywhere. Just the way that, you know, there's just such a creative use of space. We use every kind of little inch of that bus. But of course, you know, shooting in a confined space is also just very, very challenging, and the choreography is about more than just the punches and the kicks. It's also about the camera movement and stuff. So we had 2 massive San Francisco buses that we shipped from California to Sydney, and basically suspended them 50 feet in the air, put them on gimbals, and then we tried to fight in them while they were moving, which is just a terrible idea if you really think about it.
But somehow it works. Yeah.
Somehow, yeah. A lot of bruises, I definitely like banged my knees and shins on like every single part of that bus that sticks out, but it's one of my favorite sequences. It turned out really well.
Okay, tell us if you could about the audition process for this movie, because we understand it was rather unusual, and as a matter of fact, you have, of all people, Matt Damon to thank for getting...
Yeah. Well, you know, companies like Marvel are so secretive, especially with their kind of big auditions for these characters. So, you know, we received an audition call, and the scenes that I had to prepare were scenes from Good Will Hunting, which is one of my favorite movies. But yeah, I've told the story before, but like, you know, just the fact that like I know the words of the movie so well, but I know them with Matt Damon's voice, so it was kind of impossible for me to like divorce the Bostonian accent from the actual words that were being said. So there was this scene where he was talking about, you know, he was joking that he has 11 brothers, and so he's like, oh yeah, I got 11 brothers. I got Marty, Ricky, Bobby, Jerry, Bobby, you know, and I feel like I kind of went there a little bit. I don't know if that helped my chances of booking the role, but as you can see, Shang-Chi, obviously not from Boston.
No. Just wondering what this movie would have meant to a 10-year-old you.
I mean, I remember very clearly when I was 10 years old. I was so acutely aware of every Asian face that I saw on television because there were so few. There would be like a Power Ranger every 3 seasons. You know, there would be a character in a movie, and they were kind of just background characters. They would come in and out. They would never really affect the plot in any way. And I feel like in some, you know, subliminal way, it really impacted the way that I viewed myself and my place in the world, you know, feeling like I didn't really belong, or no matter where I went in Canada, I was always still a guest in someone else's home. And what I really think that movies like this are important, and I kind of felt a similar way about Crazy Rich Asians, which was a fantastic film and great for representation, is that, you know, they really just show us lived experiences of people who are of a certain ethnicity or of a certain background, and I think it normalizes that, and it shows kids that they're not alone and that they do belong, which is why I'm so excited for them to watch this movie.
I love this photo you posted on Twitter. A fellow Canadian. Everyone's like, when you mention Twitter, what did I post? What did I do? When?
I'm like, whatever I did, I'm sorry. I apologize.
You won't be apologizing for this one. A fellow Canadian, Sandra Oh, on the red carpet. Oh, I just interviewed her the other day for her new show.
Oh my gosh.
The Chair. And tell me about this moment, because it's a powerful one, and I love it so much.
It is hard to find an actor that I look up to as much as A, Sandra Oh, and B, Michelle Yeoh, who is phenomenal in our movie, and to get that kind of, I mean, she walked right up to me. She just was so effusive and enthusiastic. She had seen the movie, and I had an out-of-body experience. It was pretty fantastic. Just hearing her words of support and encouragement. She, I feel like, has been one of those people who have carried the torch and the burden of representation for so long. You know, she gave me one of my favorite quotes of all time, which is, "It's an honor just to be Asian." She said that when she won the Emmy for Killing Eve, and I could not look up to her more. So that moment really, truly meant the world.
Curious, when did you first get bit by the acting bug? Was there a certain movie, a certain character or role, and you saw that and thought to yourself, I want to do that?
Man, it was probably, you know, it was probably when I was really young and my parents worked all the time. You know, they worked very hard to provide for the family. And I basically, as an only child, like, you just basically had your imagination. Mine wasn't great, or you had whatever was on TV or the movies. And as I got older, my parents would drop me off at the movie theater at like 10 a.m. on a Saturday because they were going into the office, and give me enough money to buy a ticket and a bucket of popcorn and a drink, and would say, I'll pick you up around dinner time. And I would just be at the theater all day. So I feel like, you know, it was everything. It was just any movie. It was like the Star Wars, the Jurassic Park, you know, those movies that really just escaped you and transported you into these new worlds. So yeah.
Yeah, well listen, you will be transported with the new movie Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. It's in theaters everywhere this Friday. Simu, a real pleasure. Before we go, just one last stretch. Is there anything we should be doing?
Should we do a back one?
Should we?
Let's do a back one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why not?
So let's all just reach over with our hands, and let's just turn our. Yeah, there you go. This will be really good because you guys are sitting for long periods of time. See, it's very important, guys. Don't
He's a
forget
movie
these.
star. He's a health expert. He's everything. He's the ultimate guest.
Oh man.
Simu Liu. Simu, thank you so much.